story of my life. Yeah, everything.
That's a thick rubber band. It's not the cheap kind. So.
This is a professional rubber band.
You know, nothing but the finest. Now, if we don't get any lightning or an earthquake, we should be fine. All right, I think we're good. Are you set?
I'm set.
We're set. Okay. Yeah. Whenever you're ready, Captain.
Right.
Major. I'm sorry.
Good morning, everyone. Major Hart, Fort Walton Beach Police Department. I wanted to come talk to you this morning about an incident that happened last night at the Greyhound bus station involving a fatality. First of all, I want to reassure all the citizens of Fort Walton Beach that this is an isolated event and we have the only suspect in custody. However, it's still an ongoing investigation and we are currently still searching the area for additional evidence. Last night around 8:36 p.m. we received information that an altercation occurred at the Greyhound bus station on Perry Avenue. Reference shots fired. This is a tragic incident involving individuals from Houston, Texas that were down here in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, working in Panama City for some relief efforts due to the Hurricane Michael tragedy. Some co-workers from the company out of Houston, Philip Earl Lydia, 49 years old, Ijah Ray Hunter, 24-year-old, and Theodis Shepard, 26-year-old, and Mr. Derek Ratcliffe were in a company van when an altercation ensued at the bus station. Mr. Ledesma Vonzel Wooden, 24-year-old, who is the suspect, brandished a firearm and fired several shots into the vehicle from the parking lot. The shots struck Miss Hunter and Mr. Lydia, who were seated in the van. Mr. Lydia was struck in the leg, and Miss Hunter was struck in her abdomen. Mr. Wooden fled the scene on foot and was reported running through the area of Elm Avenue. With the help of the citizens and the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office, we were able to apprehend the suspect in that same area. Mr. Lydia and Miss Hunter were transported to the Fort Walton Beach Medical Center due to their injuries. Mr. Lydia was treated for a gunshot wound to his leg and later released with non-life-threatening injuries. Ms. Hunter ultimately succumbed to her wounds and was pronounced deceased at 23:30 hours, 11:30 p.m. at the Fort Walton Beach Medical Center. We did notify Ms. Hunter's next of kin in Houston, Texas, and at this time we would like to show our condolences for the family. Mr. Wooden was arrested and charged with the following: homicide, attempted murder, and aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. This case remains under investigation. However, if additional charges are warranted, we will notify you at that time. This case has been assigned to the Assistant State Attorney Clifton Drake for further prosecution.
Do we know if so the shooting occurred while the passengers were inside the vehicle, including the shooter, or was the shooter already outside?
The shooter was outside the vehicle, one shooter only, and the passengers were inside the vehicle.
What do you say about those who, the quick response that you guys had? Obviously, this man was arrested within a few hours. You mentioned that a lot of people with law enforcement, a lot of people in the community work together to try to help you, try to help them find this individual.
Yeah, as typical with any case we have, our citizens provide us information on a daily basis that without them we can't do a lot of what we do. I mean, we can only go so far with the police officers we have, and the members of the Sheriff's Department always jump in and help as needed, and this was just a prime example last night. The call went out, the Sheriff's Office came in and helped us with it. Our officers jumped out there and immediately started backtracking the crime, and then citizens started calling in when Mr. Wooden was running, and with that combined, we were able to apprehend him and put him in custody and off the street.
Do you know about roughly how long it took?
For Mr. Wooden, it was within several hours he was arrested and placed into custody, and like I said, it just shows the continued partnership we have with the community and the Sheriff's Office, and we appreciate that.
And again, this was a completely isolated incident.
Yes, it was workers here from Houston that just an altercation ensued, and then this was an isolated incident. There's absolutely no belief whatsoever that there's anything else that's going to come from this as far as crime to the city.
What happens now in your area?
Our end, we will still investigate this case. It's still an ongoing active investigation. We will try to gain additional leads as possible. Although the individual has been arrested, we'll still continue to comb through every aspect of it, and we will have our detectives work that along with the state attorney's office to provide the best prosecution possible.
Could you just recap for our viewers who are joining us later, just the basic, what happened? How many dead? One shooter? Where was that?
Last night, approximately at 8:36 p.m., we had a shooting occur at the Greyhound bus station on Perry Avenue. We had one suspect that's in custody, had shot 2 individuals. One was struck in the leg, taken to the Fort Walton Beach Medical Center, and later released. One was struck in the abdomen, and unfortunately she did succumb to her wounds approximately 11:30 p.m. last night. The suspect, again, is in custody and charged with homicide, attempted murder, aggravated battery with a firearm, and the case is still ongoing, and we're still coming through leads as we speak. However, we are 100% that this is an isolated incident, and the citizens have nothing to worry about at this time.
Thank you, Major.
And what time was the suspect apprehended?
I don't have that information.
How long afterward, roughly, after the shooting?
Within 2 to 3 hours, he was apprehended.
Anything else?
The canines assisting?
The sheriff's office did provide canines to do search for the suspect and all throughout the night.
Where was he found again? I know you mentioned-
On Elm Avenue.
Was he hiding off in a wooded area, or was it kind of?
He was running from the scene, not knowing his location around here, and officers just were able to locate him.